got Jason Delgado and Zach Ricketts. They're both Landstar BCOs. Jason's been with us about 3 days. I've turned his life upside down in a couple of different ways. And then Zach Ricketts. So Zach, we'll start with you. Did you come to an event or was it truck show?
Well, the first year that Kevin Rutherford had the CMC at Matt's,
Right.
I met you guys there, but I've been listening to the podcast for a while, back when I had my own authority. And yeah, kind of just found you through the program. Didn't want to shut my authority down. Ended up deciding to come to Landstar. And the only way I was coming to Landstar is if you guys took me as a mentoring client.
I want to circle back to the authority thing because that you have actually more pardon the pun, authority to speak on that than I do because I've never done that. So you came to Landstar when?
It'll be a year next week.
So I guess talk about the transition from having your own authority to coming to Landstar.
Well, first of all, it's a lot easier. There was so much paperwork, so much record keeping that happens when you have your own authority. And with Landstar, I mean, they take care of everything. They email us the permits. You all get online and see everything. IFTA's all taken care of. Like when I had my own authority, this is an E-log exempt truck, so I was on paper logs. Well, every day I'd have to sit down and write down what miles I did in each state, so then I could file my IFTA. Well, with Landstar, I don't even care about that anymore. We don't have to deal with audits. I got audited once, passed with flying colors, but I mean, it was a whole day of preparing and pulling records and making sure everything was right before that event. And with Landstar, you just worry about hauling freight and managing the business, and the regulation part of it is just taken care of.
Some experience people have already been working on to try to perfect.
Yeah, Zach, I want to ask you this because there's someone on TikTok is asking about first, how much does Landstar take? And of course they don't take anything. They give 65% to the truck and to the trailer. But when you have a truck and a trailer, it's about 73% when you add the two together. And I would rather have 73% of a big number. I'd rather have 73% of $1,000 than 90% of 500. So could you talk a little bit about that from the perspective of having had your own authority and had to work in the open market and the rates and the revenue that you could actually get to the truck under your own numbers at 100% versus the percentage that you're getting now?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's never 100% because, all these things you have to do to stay legal and okay with the regulatory agencies, a lot of guys like to farm that out. So they're paying for all of that. With Landstar, that's all included in our 35%. And there are plenty of companies that'll help you with it. Obviously, factoring is a huge deal. When I had my own authority, I factored most of my loads, A, not understanding what that cost me, but B, I just didn't have the money to wait 30, 45, 90 days to get paid.